All right, guys, welcome in. AJ, let's talk sports. Check me out, podcast, YouTube. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to all my latest content. This is UFC 318. Are you guys ready? The trilogy fight. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier down in the islands. Now, I hope you guys are ready for this because we got the new segment. Who you got segment. Are you ready? UFC Fight Night in Nashville. Who you got? Derek Lewis and Taliesin Teixeira. So I only got 2 votes. You guys didn't come out on this one. I don't know what you guys were doing, but you didn't come out. I had 1 like and only 2 votes. All right, well, that was it. So hopefully you guys need a comment. UFC news. All right, check it out. UFC news from UFC Nashville. And we have 3 medical suspensions here, big ones, lengthy ones, and we'll go over some of them right now. So we have Mike Davis following his stoppage win over Mitch Ramirez, along with Junior Tafa and Kennedy Chikwu, both of whom lost by submission in Nashville. Now they will get a 180-day suspension. And we're going to take a look at some notables. Steve Garcia only had a 30-day. Calvin Kattar had a 30-day. Nate Landwehr had a 45-day suspension. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson had a 45-day. Taliesin Teixeira, he got himself a 45-day. But check out Derek Lewis. What did he get? He's only got a 7-day suspension. So there's your UFC Nashville medical suspensions. 3 fight lengthy ones. So let's check out some UFC news here. And we got the White House. We've been talking about this for a little bit. We talked about it last week. And McGregor could fight. I'm reading this article here, and it says McGregor could fight on the UFC card hosted by Trump at the White House. Now, I don't know if you saw what happened. I check it out on Reddit. I'm a big Reddit guy. And I saw some pics that was kind of disturbing from Conor McGregor. And he wants to be, I guess, the president or prime minister or whatever they have over there in Ireland. I don't know what he was thinking, but here's my take on this. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to get into it. So the girl that he was sending pics to, I think they were talking to each other. I saw videos and pictures and stuff that they've already previously met before. And they probably just got each other's numbers. And this is probably what they've been doing. I don't know what kind of hanky-panky stuff's been going on behind the scenes, even though Conor McGregor is married, by the way. I feel sorry for his wife. Hey, I forget her name, Amy or Katie or something. Hey, if you're done with this guy, come with me. I don't have all the money, but hey, I love you like a real man. Anyway, sorry, I'm retarded. But Conor McGregor sending pics to this girl. She probably got pissed off, and she dropped some stuff and leaked some of the pics, and now he's in hot water. But according to this article here, Conor McGregor might be coming back. I know that he was like on a 6-month suspension, drug suspension. I don't know what's going on. Does anybody watch UFC? The great Dana White says we're going to have a UFC fight. Trump said in a 4th of July speech, we're going to have a UFC fight on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. Dana's going to do it. He's a one of a kind. The White House said this will be epic. I'm sure it will. We've already talked about the notable fighters on it, and a lot of people want to be on it. It's only a 20,000 capacity arena, by the way. And it's going to be a 250th United States birthday. So there's that. All right, next, let's go to the next one. What are you guys doing? So UFC Pioneer retires in the octagon following back-to-back losses. And of course, we are talking about the one and only Lauren Murphy. Lauren Murphy is actually my age. She's 41. She took a unanimous decision defeat against Eduardo Moreira, and then she took her gloves off, and she says, thank you, everyone. Thank you for everything. And this is on Twitter, and it shows her nice little video here. This is what she says. I came out here and I gave it everything I have. I've been in the UFC for 10 years. I've been fighting for 15. I wanted to come out and just give it my all one more time, hear the cheers of the crowd, and walk out with the American flag. I love all you guys so much. There's a lot of people to thank, but first of all, I want to thank me for doing all of this mother effing work. Hard work. I want to thank me for being a pioneer for women in this sport, and I want to thank me for picking myself and dusting myself off every time I got knocked out. Let's go. That's end quote by Lauren Murphy. So, like I said, she went on a 5-fight winning streak back in 2019 to 2021. She was pretty unstoppable back then. She did have fights with Jessica Andrade, Valentina Shevchenko. Shevchenko successfully dented her title, but she did win against Shevchenko back in 2021 at UFC 266, by the way. Lauren Murphy did. Lauren Murphy don't play no games. 41 years old, the Trailblazer, and that'll be doing it. All right, UFC news is done. Now we're going to go into the fights here. So make sure you check out Who You Got segment, and make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment. UFC 318 Fight Night Pick'em Show. Who's ready? I am. You better be. Let's get it going. So we had we're just going to do the lightweight. We're going to start. We're not doing all the prelims. We're just going to do right into the main card. There's only 5 fights in the main card. Let's do a 5-leg parlay, shall we? Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zahuber. I've watched some Daniel Zahuber highlights, and you're seeing them right here. Michael Johnson's a little older. He's at a plus 275. Zahuber is at a minus 345 from Mexico. And I guess there's a little bit of bad blood here because the Golden Boy was talking some trash. Then he said he's going to beat him. Michael Johnson said it too. I watched a little bit of the pre-fight shows and all that stuff. So let's take a look at his previous fights. He lost split decision back in September of last year, but he did win against Prado back in February, and that was a decision. And he won against submission in Giagos in second round, September 16th, 2023. So, it's from Mexico City, fighting out of Extreme Couture in Las Vegas. Turned pro back in 2016, 7 wins by knockout, 3 by subs. He got a calf slicer. I have no clue what a calf slicer is. If anybody's listening to this right now, what is a calf slicer? Triangle choke, anaconda choke, 5 first-round finishes. And I think he's going to get the win. If you see how he fights, stand-up is probably a little bit better than those older highlights. And I think he's going to be able to take it to the ground and get a submission against Michael Johnson. But this is just me with my opinion. And I'm on UFC 5, and you can go on there and go on the Fight Now, and you check out, not the Fight Now, but the Fight Week, and you can take your picks. And I got him in the second round via sub. Let's go. Now we're going to go into the next fight. But my boy Robert, real quick, my boy Robert Valentine's ready to rock and roll against Guitar in the middleweight bout. Dude's going to win. From Switzerland, I'm ready to go because watch Ultimate Fighter Season 32 last year. Oh, Robert Valentine's one of my favorites. All right, let's get it. He's kind of weird, but he's cool. All right, taking it to the featherweight. Number 11, Dan Ige versus Patricio the Pitbull. Pitbull's at a plus 140. The Brazilian against the American at minus 166. Take a look at Dan Ige's highlights for me, please. He can drop bombs. He's got dynamite in his hands. He drops you down. He's going to knock you out. Pitbull, is this the guy that just came over from the Bellator, and they were all talking about how he was going to come in and destroy everybody? Was this the one? Yes. This was the one, I believe. So, I don't know what's going to happen. They're both kind of, it looks like they're a little older. So, the Brazilian's 38. And we're going to take a look at Dan Ige while you enjoy the highlights here. 50K Dan Ige, 7 wins by knockout, 5 wins by submission. He's 19-9. Just beat Woodson back in April of this year, not that long ago. Keeping it fresh. And then he lost to Murphy by decision, and he lost to Diego Lopez by decision. And this was last year's fights. And he won against Philly right around my birthday, February 10th, by a knockout in the first round. He did lose to Bryce Mitchell, though, back in September of 2023. But this is a couple years ago. So if you're taking a look at the previous fights, he's 1-1 and 1-2 and 2-2 from since of last year. 2-2 of last year. Hopefully he gets it going and get back in the win column. And he's a jiu-jitsu fighter, but he's got some stand-up. Now, he's only 33. So if you're only going to go by age, you got to pick Dan Ige. Turned pro back in 2014, 6 wins by KO, 5 wins by submission, Kimura armbar, and 3 rear naked. He has won 11 of his last 18 and 4 of his last 7. So as long as you're above 50%, I believe Dana was going to bring you in there. And he's at 50% from just 1 year. So he's 2-2 from the previous year. He's going to look to go to 3-2. upcoming. 7 first-round finishes, and he's had a 4-1 amateur record. So Dan Ige, I love the nickname 50K Dan Ige. Is he going to get 50K in this one? I think he's going to. And he's going to take out Patricio Pitbull at plus 140. And then Dan Ige is fighting a non-ranked opponent, but I think he might move up a little bit in the featherweight division depending on how he wins this fight. Now let's take you up to welterweight. This is going to be a really tough one. This one is a really, really tough one to pick for me because I love both of these fighters. And of course, we're talking about Kevin Highland versus Daniel Rodriguez. And they're both American, which I love too. So, dude just fought, like literally like 2 weeks ago. He fought June 7th, okay, a month, whatever, against Luque, dominated fashion, got the win, and got the win by sub, by the way, finish. The last one was back in March of this year, so he's fought 3 times already this year, and the surpriser was De Ridder back in January, which got him by a submission. I don't think Kevin Holland was ready for that. But Kevin Holland's always ready. He's always fighting. I don't know if you saw him watching the Derek Lewis fight. I think it was on UFC Embedded. Dude, Kevin Holland, I love Kevin Holland. Dude's always a gamer. Dude's always ready to pounce. Dude's always ready to bang. He don't care, dude. He lost to Delidze. He lost to De Ridder, went back-to-back losses. Now he has back-to-back wins. I think he should win this fight. But this is a really big toss-up for me because I love Kevin Holland. That's Dan Ige. I'm on a Dan Ige. So he's out of Riverside. And you know what? I think they're best West Coast. And I was going to try to pick the closest one to the east, but I can't pick them. I don't know what to do. Holland was undefeated as an amateur. He's got 14 wins by knockout, 9 by submission. He's won 12 of his last 21, so he's 12-8, and 5 of his last 9. So tied for most UFC wins in a calendar year with 5 in 2020. Dude just going to keep on fighting. He don't care. If you keep him at welterweight, he said he'll fight probably 5 times, 6 times a year. Dude's freaking crazy, man. And he holds a stoppage of like a 2017 with Dana White Contender Series, Jeff Neal. So Kevin Holland, a trailblazer, looking good, feeling good, getting off of a fight, ready to rock and roll. As you see all those highlights there, he's the number 13th ranked in the world welterweight in the UFC. So Kevin Holland's going to get the win. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think it's going to go decision. I think they both respect each other too much to go for anything unless someone gets a little sloppy and messes up. Whoever messes up will lose, obviously. But these guys are two well-rounded fighters all around from stand-up to ground to not get a finish. And I think it goes to a decision. Now, this one was kind of tough for me. The only reason, if you Reddit people on Reddit, you're the reason why I'm not picking Paulo Costa. So number 13 versus number 14. We're taking a look at Roman Khabibov at a minus 245. Is actually favored from Russia. This one's for Mother Russia. Fighting Paulo Costa out of Brazil. He's at plus 200, by the way. Taking a look at Roman Khabibov. And his last previous fights, he won against Curtis. He won against Almeida. He lost against Hernandez back in February 17th of 2024 in the second round via submission. But he got split decision win, and he got a knockout win in the third against Curtis at this year. So I'm showing you some old highlights here. I'm glad I found these. It was pretty cool. So he likes to stand and bang. He likes to go to the body. He had some like liver punch finishes there. If you see the highlights, I might have missed it or not. I'm not looking at it, but you can see it. He's 33. Doesn't look like he's 33, but he's only 33 years old. He's still got plenty of time to do some stuff in the UFC. Turned pro back in 2016, 12 wins by knockout, 1 first-round finish, and he's won 6 of his last 7. Ladies and gentlemen, Roman Khabibov. I think, and then when's the last time Paulo Costa actually won? This was the reason why I was talking about this. It was back in 2022 when he fought Luke Rockhold, and that was just a decision. And people were saying that Luke Rockhold should have won that. I don't know. It was too long ago. I can't even remember what happened yesterday. He lost to Strickland, and he lost to Whitaker, and he was like on a 2-year little hiatus there from 2022 to 2024. When you fight Robert Whitaker, you don't want to, Robert Whitaker is going to take your head off. I really like Robert Whitaker. Anyway, he's not fighting. So we're talking about Roman Kopylov and Kopylov at a minus 245. Give me those monies. Money is all day. Now, we're at the main event of the evening. Taking a look at Max Holloway. He's blessed. Taking a look at Dustin Poirier. He's a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Dustin Poirier holds a 2-0 record against this trilogy fight here against Max Holloway. From, where is he born at? Hawaii, fellas. All right, we're going to take a little look at stats and facts, but we're really not going to do the stats and facts. We're just going to talk a little bit about their background and stuff and the UFC journey for Max Holloway. Born Jerome Max Kali Holloway on December 4, 1991 out of Honolulu, Hawaii. His early life was shaped with challenges. Raised in Waianae, a neighborhood known for rough reputation, Holloway confronted adversity at a young age. His parents were addicts. His dad was abusive. His journey in MMA started rooted in his formative years in Hawaii. He started out in Hawaii. A lot of fights, a lot of big-time names coming from Hawaii, a lot of big-time fighters. Drugs was prevalent in that environment where he was coming from. So his rise to prominence in the MMA, ascent in the world of MMA, was marked by determination, skill, and unwavering resolve. Despite a bunch of setbacks, now he made his UFC debut back in 2012 and he lost that. But despite suffering a loss in his debut, Holloway rebounded with resilience, showcasing his potential and talent in subsequent fights. Which each victory, he gained confidence and momentum, and he kept himself pushing and dominating in the featherweight division. One of the defining moments in Max Holloway's career came in 2017 when he defeated Jose Aldo to become the UFC featherweight champion, and his reign at the top of the division was nothing short of spectacular as he defended his title against the best and the best in the world. And he moved to lightweight in his pursuit of greatness as well. And Max Holloway made the bold decision to move up to lightweight, seeking new challenges and opportunities for fame. And Holloway proved that he belonged among the elite of the elite and the best of the best. And outside of this, his personal relationships, personal life, Max Holloway has seen its shares of ups and downs. He married his longtime girlfriend, I can't pronounce it, Kamana Paului, back in 2012. They do have a son together named Rush, but unfortunately they separated back in 2014 and eventually got divorced in 2017. And despite his challenges he's faced, Holloway remains focused on his career and dedicated to achieve his goals as he continues to navigate the highs and lows as a professional career. And he's got some legacy as well. I'm sure he's got some fight camps, his fighter accolades. Otherwise, over 1,000 punches. I don't know if you saw that. He's got over 1,000 punches, total strikes landed in the UFC. I think he holds that record, by the way. So that was taking a look at Max Holloway. Let's take a look at Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Going to take a little bit different look here. UFC fighter Dustin Poirier, there's some things that you might not know about him. He did like Pamela Anderson. That was like a celebrity crush, by the way. He was born in Louisiana, dropped out of high school, and repeatedly getting into fights. Now, in 2009, he turned his experience to professional and joined the UFC. He quickly went on a 7-0 tear. In 2019, he became the interim UFC lightweight champion, his proudest moment of his career, besides his kids. No, I'm just kidding. When it comes to preparing for a fight, he loves, a heartbeat hot sauce, it says. I think that's what he started doing. But he says, I love to go to New Orleans. It's just a special city for me, and the energy is so different. One thing everyone should try is the Poirier's Louisiana-style hot sauce is eggs. To decompress on my days off, this is what Dustin Poirier does. I usually just hang out with his wife and his daughter. And the one thing fans always say to me on the street is to stay hydrated. My first car was a 78 Oldsmobile Cutlass. My first job was cutting grass. That was me. He's a ping pong champion. Not really, but I try hard is what he says. My favorite items in my wardrobe are my colorful Robert Graham t-shirts. My favorite room in my house is the kitchen. He said, I just had my most starstruck moment 2 weeks ago when he met Mike Tyson for the first time. I would have loved to fight a prime BJ Penn, he says. My advice for up-and-coming fighters is you have to stay consistent and hold yourself accountable. My preferred cheat meal is a burger and onion rings. He says, growing up, Anderson Silva was the closest person I had to a celebrity, or Pamela Anderson, my bad. Pamela Anderson was the closest person I had a crush on. The most famous name in my phone is Kevin James. The proudest moment of my career was winning the interim lightweight champion. And my favorite movie is The Big Lebowski. My favorite thing to cook is Cajun jambalaya to gumbo. I love everything about being a girl dad. It's incredible. To mentally prepare before heading into the octagon, I imagine all the different ways the fight could unfold thousands of times before I actually walk out there. Tim Crater, one of my first coaches, gave me the nickname Diamond. That's how it started, by Tim Crater, so give him props to that. He uses Celsius to speed up my mornings. Instead of waiting for coffee, I just grab one from the fridge and hit the road. It's all perfect pregame. So a little bit behind the scenes of Dustin the Diamond Poirier and Max Holloway. And who do I got? I'm glad you asked. I am picking, now look at the odds. Max Holloway is the champ, a BMF title, BMF champ. He's holding it at a minus 118. And Dustin Poirier is at a minus 102. This is going to be a really sad fight for me because Dustin Poirier, this is allegedly his last fight. And I've heard a lot of rumblings, too, that he might actually make the UFC White House card. I am not sure. But we'll see what happens if he puts the gloves down Saturday night. So make sure you're watching it Saturday, July 19th at 10 p.m. at Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, UFC 318, the trilogy, Holloway versus Poirier. Gimme Dustin Poirier. TKO in the third. And that's how you do it. Love you guys. God bless. What do? You tip the waitress.